Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be checking out Action Comics Annual 2023 by Phillip Kennedy Johnson and Max Raynor. This is the finale to not only the Blue Earth plotline, but also Phillip Kennedy Johnson's time on the book. Superman, along with Etrigan and Bloodwind, arrive on Earth Al Ghul and get to work trying to find Othel Ra, who's been brainwashed by Janal Al Ghul and turned into a killer warrior again. Also, Janal can put her through a ritual that will allow her to possess the girl as a vessel and use her to invade Earth Zero. Janal uses Othel's rage to pit her against Superman, making him appear as Mongol in her eyes, as Janal and her army invade Earth Zero. Superman prevails in his battle by reminding her of the story of the Star Child and the Red Sun, and how the Star Child was the shield for her family against the evil. Just like what Johnson did last issue and the issue before that, this mirrors what Supergirl had been telling the kids about the Star Child and the Red Sun, building off of those plot points really well and expanding the lore even more, which has just been a running thing throughout Johnson's entire run on Action Comics, just this really intricate lore building and bringing in new lore to Superman's history and canon, and really interesting lore as well, stuff that I would like to see other writers get a chance to explore and invest in, and I hope it's something that will stick around, since it's just one of the most interesting things this entire run has done. Just all of this lore involving the Star Child and the Red Sun, as well as the stuff from Olgren and the War World and all of the cosmic horror stuff that he was building up over in the War World saga as well. Everything about this issue so far that I was reading is great, and as someone who's been reading Johnson's entire run, it feels very rewarding. It's paying off things that were set up a bunch of issues ago and even last issue, but at the same time I get the feeling that this part of the run underwent some time changes, as this all feels incredibly truncated. Like the invasion sounds and feels like it probably should have been a Superman family line-wide event covering all of the Superman family books, not just a single annual issue. I can absolutely see how this could have tied into the Superman book, the Power Girl book, maybe even have like a Supergirl special. All of these books could have benefited from this being a very small 3 or 4 issue event across the Superman line of books. Anyway, Sister Shadow invades Metropolis, and in the ensuing battle, the Blue Earthers that she imbued with power over the last couple of issues end up realizing their error in their ways, and after a neat pep talk from both Supergirl and Superboy, they team up with Superman's family and help defeat the Empire of Shadows. This was another really neat thing about this, and I could tell this is where it was going to go, where we first had Superman sort of talking with the Blue Earthers and realizing that they did want to do something good, they were just led astray. And this is the result of that. We get to see them actually joining the Superman family and become proper heroes. And I'm intrigued to see if they're actually going to stay around, or whether their power fades now that the whole Empire of Shadows has been dealt with. Maybe that was part of the thing where their powers just get dealt with after that and kind of takes them off the board, which would be a shame, but it would be interesting to see a bunch of new superpowered people cropping up across Metropolis. Ozil ends up confronting the powered up Janal, and exactly what I thought was going to happened. Janal learns of the boy's hidden power of Olgren and tries to take him as a vessel instead of his sister. But that doesn't last long, as Superman and Othel, whom Clark managed to talk down, returns and, with some help from Etrigan and Bloodwind, banish Janal and her army to Hell, their souls sent to the place to pay the debt they owed for using Hell as their own personal Uber service, since, as we learned last issue through Constantine, she had been using Hell as a conduit to Earth Zero and a way to travel to other Earths, since Superman and the Authority destroyed her gateways back in the Superman and Authority special a couple of years ago now. With the threat of the Empire of Shadows finally dealt with, the book kind of just ends. We do get an excellent end cap to the issue and whole story though, where Glenn, the ex-convict construction worker Superman had lunch with back in Action Comics issue 1057, turns up again. Glenn meets with his son Steven, grabbing lunch with him this time, and the boy asks if Glenn ever is mad at Superman for catching him and ruining his life as a thief. But we also learn that Glenn's time with the hero has made him appreciate life and see everything he and his family do for the city made him realize they were just trying to save him, and that being a part of Metropolis is what helps make it a city of tomorrow. It's a nice finish to Glenn's little story Johnson developed, and to see him passing what Superman taught to him onto his son is great, building off a core theme that has been running through this entire event of those who are lost can find their way again with just a little bit of help through family. But after the rushed finish to the Empire of Shadows, it's a little tacked on, and if they were going to reuse Glenn again, like if they knew they were going to use him again, I think we did need to see him once more between his first appearance and this one. Maybe just catching up with Superman again, or maybe meeting with his son again, and you know, just to have that sort of arc a little bit, since it feels very strange, and I'm sure there's going to be people who are going to wonder who these people are and why we're cutting to them. Max Raynor tags in for the big finale, giving the book a good smattering of action over the 30 odd pages. Everything had a proper scale and flow a chaotic invasion of a city should have. Everyone also got their time in the spotlight. I like that it was a good balance between Superman, the more magical based heroes with Bloodwind and Etrigan, and then the Superman family and the Blue Earth movement. I like that it was all balanced, and one half of the book was the magical users and the other half was all of the superhero Superman stuff. The double page spreads, which there are a few of, were definitely the highlight for me, as they were all well designed and made great use of space, and they helped the story flow a lot better. Overall, Johnson's run on Action Comics was easily one of the best the book has ever had, and easily one of the best Superman stories ever told. It had everything I love about a good Superman story: a creative and refreshing premise, great new additions to Superman's lore and history that build on established bits of his canon, and it never really forgot what a Superman story should always have, which is heart. I am going to be very sad to see Johnson exit the book, since I'll always wonder what he would have done next after this story and what would his next arc be, but I'm looking forward to the rotating set of writers like Jason Aaron and Mark Waid and many other cool writers taking over the next bunch of issues and what they have in store for us. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. This was a fantastic book, if a little truncated. If you haven't been reading it or been waiting for it to end, now's the time to pick it up. It's finished, it's complete. There's a bunch of different volumes already out in hardcover. I think they've put out an omnibus as well for at least part of the Warworld saga, so it's definitely all out there in collected form for you to just breeze through. It's a fantastic story filled with some great action, character moments, and some suspense and cosmic horror of all things. Definitely recommend it.